Good morning. Hello, everybody. Well, I guess it's not good morning. It's more like good afternoon. It's Saturday. And I am getting ready. My husband's going to be like, woman, hurry up. But I wanted to get ready and talk to you guys. So I did my weigh-in. I'm officially down 2 pounds. Yay, 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 yay. And I'm actually getting ready for the day. It's like almost 2 in the afternoon. We went out last night, so we didn't get home till like 1 a.m. And in all honesty, I had no intentions on going out, but we did. And now I'm out, trying to get ready to go out again. Whew. Glow serum. This was actually a freebie. Pink Juice Glow Moisturizer. Okay, so I will be honest. I feel like the 2 pound loss is exactly what I needed. I mean, I know we aren't supposed to put everything on the scale because we're seeing improvements in other ways, like consistency. Yesterday was definitely my quote-unquote day that was like cheating because I was like drinking and eating. You know, I don't really have a cheat day, but it is kind of like a day that maybe I won't track as much. I feel like I can still track my macros and calories. Even if I did go off, and just kind of use it as a day where it's like a cheat day. Today is not going to be necessarily a cheat day, but I'm going to try to track again. But if I see something like on a menu, if we go somewhere and we go out to eat, and if I see something on a menu that I feel like I want to eat, I'm going to eat it and just be more mindful to where I put my other calories towards. So that's basically that. I might have one drink today, but I'm really kind of hoping not to because I feel like I drank too much yesterday. Not like I wasn't drunk or anything, but just drinking really, there's a lot of sodium, especially because I was drinking like these beer things. This is my primer. I got this out of my Fit Fun box. I got my cortisone injection yesterday. It did not hurt. I was super nervous about it. I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna hurt so bad. But they literally put it right in the joint. The doctor said if it was more in my upper area of my foot, it would probably hurt, but since it was more on my joint, it basically did not hurt. I woke up today, I have no pain in my foot, like none. But apparently with the cortisone shots, they are a steroid. It's a mixture of Toradol and Kenalog. So you don't want, because the Kenalog and the Toradol together, you know, decrease the inflammation. But the doctor was saying that it's something you do not want to do like multiple times in a row, because it can actually create more breakdown, I guess, of that area with the arthritis and more deterioration of that area. So it's something you just do like every like couple of years if you have to, but really it's more about you know, proper shoes, having good supportive shoes. I wear my Nikes. I have these one pair of Nikes that really I think are helping me, and I feel like I need to go out and buy another pair of Nikes or another pair of shoes that are more supportive, because she says, like, make sure the shoe doesn't bend fully, make sure there's support by the ankle and the foot. I know a lot of nurses love those those Dancos. I'll be honest, I'm not, I don't know. I mean, I personally just don't find them very flattering. I mean, I know they're kind of like heels for the foot, and they kind of like have, not really heels, but they kind of have that arch support and that support around the heel. But when I see them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I like them. And I don't know if I would like to wear them, in all honesty, but that's just me. Hokas are really good, especially for the foot area. So I feel hopeful that I will get some new shoes soon. Maybe I'll wait till I get paid, because shoes are expensive now. Like a good pair of shoes, like almost $100 to $200 for a good pair of nursing shoes. Especially like if you're getting Nikes or things that are very fashionable. My Nikes, I need to get some shoe cleaner, because my Nikes I have worn down to the ground, honey. They were like I mean, you guys all seen them. They're like that light green, neon green. They are now like a dull green. The neon is gone because I literally wore the hell out of them. So I'm gonna definitely look for some new Nikes. But in all honesty, I'm just so happy that the 2 pounds came off, because I was like starting to get a little like, am I even making a difference kind of approach, which I know is something like we definitely are not supposed to do, but it's all about the consistency and the determination of just continuing. And for me, it's definitely the food. The working out part, you know, I've been pretty consistent with my working out besides the 2 years, even though it hasn't been as active as it once was. Definitely there is a decrease ever since I left the emergency room with my steps. Like when I was in the emergency room and I would work out in the morning, I would average, I was telling one of the other nurses from my job this, I would average anywhere from 15,000 steps a day to almost 20,000 steps a day. And that just seems fucking insane now that I think about it. Like I was literally, because I was, you know, working out, maybe doing a couple miles on the treadmill before work, and then I was going to work and I was then running around the emergency room for the next 12 hours. And now somebody who is older, like, yeah, in my 30s, possibly, that was very doable, right? That was very doable. But then with injury, burnout, especially working through the pandemic, different weather conditions. I mean, there was times we were outside in tents with all that fucking gear on, and I was literally like sweating. So my activity has totally decreased. But, you know, I'm not as burnt out. I'm not as tired. I'm able to work on other passions and other things that I enjoy doing. I'm able to like go and do other things, you know, and not just be like recuperating on my days off. And another thing that is interesting about like the emergency room versus being in the clinic is even on my days that I come home, you know, I have more time to do stuff. Like, I could record a podcast literally when I get home from work if I wanted to, or I could record a vlog if I wanted to, right? I don't feel like I'm such in a rush to be like getting ready for the next day. I have time where I can actually enjoy that day. So that is definitely something that I feel like is a blessing. I mean, my hat goes off to the people who are still working in the emergency room. I mean, it's not for everybody. I enjoyed my time. There's definitely times that I miss it. Like the other day, I was like, I miss the adrenaline a little bit, like of just going and doing a code. Like, maybe I would like to go and do a code and then leave. Like, I don't want to be there for all the cleanup, or all the monitoring, or worrying if I have a bed because there's like 5 zillion other people who need to get in. You know, is ICU, do they have any room for admissions? You know, I don't want to be worried about that shit anymore. And in some ways it kind of sounds a little selfish, you know, because in the emergency room, you do give up like a lot of yourself for that profession, for that energy of working constantly, working towards saving a life. And by all means, it was definitely one of the most influential areas that I ever worked in, there in ICU. I did enjoy working in ICU when I was a float nurse. I was never an ICU nurse, but I would have, you know, obviously patients that were extremely critical. It's ICU, and same with the ER, but I may not have had the most extreme ICU cases because I wasn't an ICU nurse, so it wasn't something that I was specialized in completely, because ICU nurses are very organized. They're very particular, and I feel like the same with NICU nurses. One of the nurses I work with, who we've actually become, like, I would say, you know, definitely have a good work relationship, and we talk a lot, because, you know, that's how nurses get by, is talking to each other. And hearing her NICU stories, and she still works NICU, and very meticulous. You know, you have to be, especially when you're dealing with babies, right? Preemie babies. And you have to have that area of knowledge where you're confident in what you're doing. So I didn't really get a lot of this super specialty cases, but I did work ICU. That was one of the places where I was thinking about going if I left the ER and didn't get the job that I got now. I was looking at possibly going to ICU to finish out my nursing career. But I ended up being blessed with the position that I have now. And I feel very blessed to have it, because I don't plan on leaving. I plan on retiring there. I'm still kind of thinking about management. It's like in the back of my mind, but I'm 45 now, and I'm just like wondering if I want to spend like the last 20 to 10 years, because I probably won't retire from nursing till I'm like 55 or maybe like 65, right? To retire at 55, I would definitely have to have some money to live off of, because you don't get like Social Security, you don't get your retirement benefits. So that, I don't know if that's something I would want to do. And plus, I also feel like showing up somewhere keeps you alive. And having something to do, you know, even though I have my content creation and stuff and my podcast. I don't know if that's necessarily the best. I do like the social aspect of working and socializing with people and problem solving. I just couldn't imagine, like, there's a part of me that imagines working from home, but I don't think I could. I don't think I want to. I like that aspect of getting up, even though work drives you crazy. And, you know, a lot of people feel like, you know, we have to break out of this matrix of being in this hamster wheel, which is true. You know, I think it is true. We do have to break out of certain things. We also I always have to have like our own money kind of saved in our own area where maybe, you know, it doesn't have to be like 2 jobs, like putting your money all in one basket, but it should definitely be another area that you could work with if for whatever reason you had to. I think 2020 taught us that, but it feels like now the government or these corporations are like, it's time for the regular people to get back to work, you know. As a podcaster, just seeing all these celebrity podcasters now, and even like the meditation apps, it's now all celebrities, you know, the celebrities who once were very popular, who maybe aren't doing films or maybe aren't building records, but they're now doing other things in the podcasting and content creation. And of course they have a following, so most people are gonna be like, oh, well, I want to hear what this celebrity is talking about versus this no-name podcaster. So that part is kind of like a little disheartening, because it's like, you know, what about the people who've been working hard towards their dreams, and then these people who already are stated for or have an influence just come on and steal. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Like, I do feel like there are people who worked their way up, but then there was also people like who've gotten opportunities because of who they are, what they know, or who they know. And that's true, you know, that's everywhere. That's like even in nursing. That's why as a nurse, you don't want to burn your bridges. I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick while I'm finishing up. So I once worked with this nurse, and she was nice, but some of the other nurses, for whatever reason, they didn't really like her, or they felt like she wasn't a good bedside nurse. And you know, nurses can be very mean. You always hear about that, right? Nurses can be very mean. They eat their young, blah, blah, blah. And she was working, and she was working as this nurse, and she had a hard time getting along with the other nurses. So basically, the other nurses were just downright mean to her. And she ended up leaving that hospital for, you know, whatever reasons. And the nurses were like, oh, yay, she's gone. You know, we didn't like her anyways, right? Or whatever. You know, nobody really kept in contact with her, because you don't always keep in contact with everybody you know, right? I didn't have any problems with her. I mean, I thought maybe, you know, she needed to definitely think if she was in the right department. You know, I could definitely see she wasn't happy in the department that we worked together at, right? I could definitely see that. I didn't really have too many problems with her. I didn't have any problems with her, actually. I thought she was, you know, a nice person. I'm not a nursing bully at all, but they are out there. And I was just like, hey, you do your work, I do mine. You need help, I'll help you. But there's certain things like, you know, if you need, you know, certain things as a nurse, you definitely have to have safety as much as possible. And you have to be able to express yourself. So like, if you're drowning, fucking tell me. Don't leave me with like a shit show, or don't, you know, just communicate basically. And I think maybe that was some of the, I don't know. But anyways, So one of the nurses who was pretty just freaking mean to her, like, let's be honest, she was just mean to her, decided she wanted to go look for another job, right? And she decided to go to this very high influential hospital that has a very good reputation. And this has already been like 5 years after the other nurse left. So she decided to go look for another job. And she goes to the panel interview, because it's a panel interview, and sometimes with these very high profile jobs in nursing, you're gonna get panel interviews. So she goes to this high panel interview, and guess who's on the fucking panel? That nurse that she was mean to for all those years, who she bullied for all those years, was on the panel. And she said when she walked in and she saw her, her heart kind of like did a, because she knew she was mean to her. She knew she bullied her, and she knew she wasn't getting that fucking job. So treat people, because you never know. The nursing community is very small, even though it's so big, but treat people with respect. Don't bully each other. Please don't. Because you never know where you're going to be in 10 years. You never know where you're going to be in 5 years. And that nurse who you once were super mean with your clique, might actually be the one who has the potential to say, yes, you get this job, or no, you don't. So I thought that was like a very interesting story. And it really shows like how we are all learning through this process, right? So I'm going to finish getting ready, give you guys a bye when I'm done so you guys can see the makeup. Okay, makeup's done. I finished up with the mascara that I got from e.l.f. I would say, yeah, it looks pretty good. This is what I'm wearing. I'm gonna put some sandals on. And that's it, friends. So, everybody have an amazing day and happy Saturday. If you are, or actually for you guys, this will be Thursday. I decided to post the weight loss vlogs on Thursdays. So happy Thursday, and everybody have an amazing day. Bye.